Hello, my friends, and welcome back to English Unleashed. I'm Tom, and in today's episode, we'll focus on one of the biggest challenges English learners face, the IELTS speaking test. If you take IELTS, you probably know that good scores are important for many things such as studying or working abroad. You might have also heard, though, that high scores require perfect answers, lots of difficult vocabulary and grammar rules to follow. This may lead some students to think that they need to memorize hundreds of perfect answers to get a great score. But here's the truth: memorized answers sound unnatural. The examiner can always tell. What you really need is the ability to speak naturally, clearly, and confidently, even when you don't know the exact question in advance. So today I'll give you 3 practical strategies to help you prepare for IELTS speaking the right way. Strategy 1. Use everyday English when you memorize answers. You often use special phrases and words you wouldn't normally use. For example, you might say, globalization is a phenomenon instead of globalization is a big change. And that's okay for IELTS, but you don't want to use overly formal language in everyday conversations, right? So if you talk like this all the time, people might not understand you. In fact, you might lose some points in IELTS speaking for using too formal language. That's why I recommend you use everyday English. What is everyday English? Well, it's just how most native speakers communicate. It's the type of English you use with your family and friends, the English you would use if someone asked you, "How are you?" or "What's going on?" So to prepare for IELTS, try to practice using more conversational English. The examiner doesn't want textbook sentences. They want to hear how you really speak. Instead of memorizing, practice talking about your daily routine, your hobbies, your plans. For example, in my free time, I enjoy cooking because it relaxes me. Recently, I tried making Italian pasta for the first time. This sounds real, not robotic. It also sounds natural and clear, so practice using similar types of sentences. Talk about your life, your interests, and your opinions. This is an effective way to prepare for IELTS without memorizing so many answers. Strategy 2. Expand your answers. Another key point in IELTS speaking is to expand your answers. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a question you may receive. Do you like reading? If you've practiced using everyday English, you might give an answer like this. Yes, I really enjoy reading novels, especially mystery stories. They keep me excited and help me relax after a long day at work. But unfortunately, this student didn't expand their answer. They only said, "Yes, I like reading." This is a very short response. You may lose points for giving very brief answers. So remember to expand your answers, give more information. For example, you can talk about what you read, how often you read, or what types of books you prefer. Here's another question you could receive in the exam. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Then they give you a statement. You can say something like, that's a good question. On the one hand, I think it's true because. On the other hand, I believe that. Overall, I agree that. This is a longer, more complete answer that includes different opinions and shows your fluency and coherence. Strategy 3. Practice under time pressure. In the IELTS speaking test, you're usually required to answer questions for about 20 to 30 seconds. However, when you're preparing for IELTS at home, you probably spend a lot of time thinking about the perfect answer. You might write down notes or search for fancy words and phrases online, and this takes time. That's why it's important to practice answering questions quickly. For example, set a timer on your phone and try to answer as many questions as possible in 3 minutes, or you can record your answers on your phone. Then listen back. Do you speak too quickly? Do you use simple words and grammar? Do you sound natural? Remember, examiners don't expect you to give perfect answers. They just want to see if you can communicate effectively in English. So practice answering questions in small chunks, 20 to 30 seconds each. You can do this during your lunch break or before bed. It doesn't take much time. And when you practice answering questions under time pressure, you won't be so worried on exam day. So let's summarize the main ideas from today's lesson. Strategy 1. Use everyday English. Avoid using overly formal language. Sound natural. Talk about your life, your hobbies, and your opinions. Strategy 2. Expand your answers. Don't give one-word answers. Try to include more information. Add details, examples, or reasons to your responses. Strategy 3. Practice under time pressure. Train yourself to answer questions in 20 to 30 seconds. You can set a timer or record your answers and listen back. So now I'd like to ask you, have you taken the IELTS test before? When was it? Did you pass? Please share your experience in the comments below. Also, if you found today's strategies useful, please hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm promote the video to more English learners around the world. Thanks for watching this episode of English Unleashed. To keep practicing your speaking skills, remember to join our speaking practice sessions. Every week, one organized speaking sessions for my students where they can practice their English and get feedback. It's a great way to improve fast. Also, if you wanted to take your English to the next level, sign up for a course. Now, I have a question for you. What's your plan to improve your IELTS speaking score? Please write your answer in the comments section. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. Once again, thank you for joining me on English Unleashed. Keep practicing, keep improving, and keep believing in your ability to succeed. See you next time. Bye.